My Mother Said I Shouldn't with Sarah and Michaela.
Two best friends and coaches proving that life doesn't end at 30.
Outrageous and unfiltered.
You might not believe what comes next.
Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of My Mother Said I Shouldn't. Even though last time we said my mother said I should always wear a condom.
Yeah.
We changed it. Who cares?
Oh,
Today, I'm going to say my mother said I shouldn't buy a house alone.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right?
That is a good one. Yeah. Because they fear, man. They fear you doing it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah.
And my mum obviously never bought a house alone or with a person. Well, when she did buy one with a person, the man came with a house and kind of put her on it. So for me, when I was obviously getting to the age of 30, I wanted to buy my own house. She instilled so much fear into me, saying that I shouldn't do it. It's scary. You shouldn't be doing it alone. Who's going to fix things? Who's going to sort things? And it was in her head that, you know, this is something that I just couldn't possibly do alone. And because we grew up not having a mortgage in a council house, just me, my mum and my sister, it actually did feel, until I started working on my mindset, it felt impossible for me. And I had my deposit through my 20s. But it wasn't until my 30s where things changed. So it was actually my 20s, late 20s, where I was considering buying a property. And she was basically saying, no, don't do it, don't do it. Even up to the point where I bought it, she was panicking and worried. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think a lot of us delay buying a house and buying a property until we find that right partner, till we find that right partner, even. If we're in the fortunate circumstance that we've managed to save a deposit in this day and age, which I was saving mine, as you know, from the age of 18, because, well, I grew up with no money. You know, so war, I wouldn't end up in the same situation that we were brought up in, living on beans on toast and bourbon biscuits.
That's a good biscuit, though, that.
It's an all right biscuit.
It was good when I was younger. Now, I don't eat it now, but it was good when I was younger in bourbon.
You don't get bourbon now?
No.
Or a custard?
I used to eat custard. I used to dump my custard creams in my tea all the time.
I like the way she says custard creams.
Custard creams.
Creams.
I love it. I love the Dunkin' crisp custard cream. And I think I dunked them so much, but you know me, I get addicted to things. So then I got addicted to custard cream and then I just don't do it anymore. I can't.
I feel like you go more Scottish when you say custard cream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Custard cream. I guess they are, innit? Cream. Custard cream. Do you want a custard cream? Maybe I say on a date, what custard cream? They're not actually, I don't know what those things I'm giving them. I'm genuinely giving them a biscuit.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah. No, just actually a biscuit.
Is that a dip? Oh, God. So, yeah. So, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely the same. I think like people, like my parents will kind of worry, thinking, Sarah, can you afford to pay the mortgage every month? Like,
do they know how much rent costs in London or in Manchester?
I know. But this is it. I know. And there's a panic that you should, don't do it. You wait until you've got, your partner and whoever you're going to, live with, have kids with, do the whole thing with, and rather than do it on your own, which is so strange though, because that whole time, how long are you putting money into rent when you could actually have just been putting money into a house and then you've got the house at the end of it, So it doesn't make much sense. But I think it's like this the fear that you're doing it on your own, and what happens if anything happens? They just don't want you to be doing it on your own in case something bad happens.
And it's not the normal way, is it? As in normal society way.
Yeah.
Not the way that they were brought up to do it. Not the way that they know. And we know that people are scared of things that are a little bit uncertain or going against the grain. But it was interesting that when I did buy the house, she was very proud.
That's it. But they would be,
because I think she realised that, the world didn't implode when Michaela bought her own property.
And then how amazing is it that you've actually got this like a gorgeous house? Like, I mean, what you've put into this,
the work we put into it.
Well, we did, yes, we did.
So Sarah moved in with me.
I did
at the start, and we were literally ripping wood chip off of these walls. These walls were covered in wood chip.
Wood chip.
So much wood chip. and so
was
many
a journey.
issues. Do you remember?
Remember the washing machine? That was just supposed to be a quick over like swap over. So I had the washing machine. Just washing machine was coming, just had to quickly switch over. But the woman that had been in last time, she'd create like a big long tube. I don't understand it. I don't understand why this tube was here. Anyway, so when it was disconnected, this water just flooded everywhere. It was like, might have been like water sat in a tube for a while.
Oh, stagnant, smelly water.
So
And
that
I was out, and you went to
you
deal
were
with
out.
it.
Oh, and I was like, I just don't understand what happened. Cleaning all this stagnant water all over. It was, but little things like that, like things that should have been easier just weren't, because obviously the woman that was here had someone doing these bits and bobs, and
Dodgy jobs.
which is
I had
crazy.
a fake
Such a
wall.
shame.
Do you remember? So when you had moved out at this point, so me and Tom were pulling down the wood chip upstairs and whatnot, and I don't know, were you here at this point?
Yeah.
So the
I am.
stairs, there was a fake wall, and it was paper mache and cardboard. And when we pulled it up, the wall in the stairs went all the way to the top, and it was so high. I was like, I ain't ever getting up there and wood chipping that. It's just not gonna happen. But these things, like, I was very lucky that me and Tom got together. Perfect timing. When I bought this house. But even, we were very new relationships. So it was me and you ripping up carpets. And no one ever tells you. You think about, getting new carpets in, or getting new wood in, or floors in. You don't really think about how you're going to get rid of the carpets that are already in. And you're loading it into the cars and taking it to the tip, and you're having to chop it up, and it's heavy and it weighs a ton. And you feel in those moments, I mean, it was quite empowering, because we would look at it and be like, oh my God, it would be so useful to have a guy right now. Why we thought that, I got no idea, because we did it on our own.
We did.
But can you remember loading that car with these dirty, old, dusty carpets that weighed a ton? We were cutting through them.
I actually forgot. I'm not going to lie. I think I just shut down my brain. Get it in, and all the woods, extra wood and stuff, and then from the floor in. Yeah, it was a lot.
I bought the wrong wood, didn't I?
Oh yeah.
Remember when I bought herringbone? Because I didn't know what herringbone was.
Remember when it got the guy dropped the delivery off, and I was like, sure, I'll sign this off. And then you went out and it was wet wood, and you're like,
Well,
Sarah. And the guy drove off, run in up to the suite. The guy, excuse me, you need to take this wood. It's damaged. He's got you signed it now. Goodbye.
so many issues.
That was cheeky. That was
Yeah,
cheeky.
and-
He knew what he was doing there.
100%. And then that wood. So basically, I ordered normal straight planks of wood. Thought I did. I actually did. And it arrived, but it arrived in herringbone boxes. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And with herringbone instructions. I didn't really notice this at the time, because I was new to all of this. I didn't really know. I just knew that when I'd ordered straight wood. And when the carpenter came, he said, this is all herringbone. So he said, and we were living in a room together at the time. Downstairs.
All our stuff around
On
the
a mattress.
on the floor. Honestly,
It was a riot, and we just
closer.
we wanted these rooms to be done as quick as possible. And I was like, sod it, like, I'll have herringbone, because he was like, it's all the rage now, you're gonna have to pay more because herringbone's harder to put down. I said, sod it, just get it down, it down. And he started putting it down, and it wasn't fitting together. Rang up the people who supplied the wood. They went, yeah, well, it's straight wood. I went, well, why was it in herringbone boxes with herringbone instructions? Oh, someone should have told you that was the case. I was like, well, it's been put down now by my carpenter in that way. And I had to fight for a refund on that. Because they wouldn't take responsibility. They did end up giving me a refund, thank God. But yeah, even that was a whole rigmarole, and it delayed everything by weeks and weeks and weeks. And I feel like if a guy had been around, he might have been a bit more aware of what was going on. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Maybe that's just a limiting belief.
Thing is, though, if wood comes in a herringbone box with herringbone instructions, I'm thinking it's herringbone wood. You wouldn't think any other. It's still that was totally their mistake. But on the manufacturer's point.
When it arrived, I never asked. I just took the wood in. But again, do you remember? It came in like there was so much of it, so it was peeing it down outside. I was carrying one by one, bringing all this wood in. There's all this kind of stuff, and I don't want to deter any women out there who were thinking of buying a loan, because it was the best thing I ever did. But there's lots of things that you do need to consider in terms of manual labour.
Yeah. And I think definitely just having someone like a friend that can help you out.
I was very lucky I had you.
Yeah, like having people that can help you out in the house. Like, So not just doing it completely on your own, like having, you are doing it on your own, but having people there to help you.
network.
Yeah.
Because it was even stuff like someone being in for the washing machine to come. And as soon as I moved in, I needed to get a new boiler. That we had a back boiler. Can you remember the issue with that? So there was a hole in the chimney breast that had been covered up by a vent and by something else. We never saw it when I was looking around. I asked a gas man to come round and check all the gas because we had a back boiler. He sees the hole in the chimney breast and he's like, that is letting potentially letting gas into this room, which could poison whoever sleeps in this bedroom, which was you.
Great, thank you very much. Are we fixing that?
Absolutely horrified. I was like, I nearly killed my best friend.
It's awful.
And he was like, no, it's probably been sealed or it's probably not coming through, but you need to, I would get it all changed. So I ended up spending 10 grand, do you remember, on a new boiler, getting fitted, removing the back boiler. Oh, it was a lot moving it in. But I am so glad that I did it. And I do think that my mum was scared. And I also think that there was a fear of, if I did this alone, maybe I would never get a man. And she always, her happiness was dictated by whether she was in a relationship. She felt like she always needed a man. She couldn't do it on her own. She's got a real lack of self-trust. But that's very different to your mum, which is ironic that she feels similar because she helped me a lot when we moved in. Your mum was the person that we rang all the time for advice and help. And she's very independent, isn't she?
Yeah, she's amazing with her all her stuff in the house and stuff. She does a lot of it. Yeah,
she's incredible.
She loves doing it. She's like straight on it. But I think which is interesting because you think if she's like that, but then she's always had my dad. So my dad's always been there to like as a support, but she will get everything done herself. So it's bad that I've been brought up very, you can be very independent and do all this on your own, but the house that can be, be careful. And it's the fear of the money. I think it's the fear of the money and just not what happens if I've not got anyone there with me to help me in case it goes wrong. I guess it's a fear.
People don't tell you, so you can, make minimum mortgage repayments and then overpay. And I had a really good mortgage advisor who helped me understand that. So he was like, just pay the minimum amount that you can pay. And if you want to overpay, you can overpay 10% in the year towards your mortgage. So that meant that if, obviously you lived with me to start off with and now Tom lives with me, but if I lived alone, I could afford it. And it was much cheaper than the rent we were paying in Manchester. Oh, I think it was actually about the same, to be fair.
Did you get fixed though? Or do you know when all the mortgages went crazy? You got fixed, didn't you? So that's it. It's like get fixed, so you know that's exactly how much you're paying.
Well, I wouldn't give any advice on.
Oh my God, I don't know any of this. Should be there. This is our situation. We go there.
She's trying to give advice now on mortgages, and that is not your expertise.
In no way.
Please don't take any advice on mortgages from this.
But there are ways. I suppose there's things you can go and talk to someone and find out what could work for you.
Exactly.
What works. Yeah, that's
and get a skilled mortgage advisor.
Yeah.
Someone who knows what they're talking about. Pay the additional money if it costs. That would be my advice, because he was a little bit more expensive, but he was brilliant. So amazing. I still use him now. He's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he's the one that got me in touch with to look at for hopefully something that's coming.
And how are you feeling about getting your house alone now?
It's exciting. It's very exciting. I think it's taken me a long time to be like, okay, cool, let's do it now. But I have for the last few years, I've wanted to, because I think it's something, I don't know, it's like nice about having your own space, and you could decorate it, and then that becomes yours. Whatever you're doing with it is your space. You're never moving out. Well, I mean, not at that moment in time. Like you've got a while there, but like if it's someone else's, just it feels a bit different. So I think it's always been, I'd see things, I'm like, oh, that looked nice in the house. I'd like to decorate my room that way, and having your own space to do that and kind of make it your own. And then I don't know, I'm looking forward to having that. This is something I've created. I think that's huge, You
hear about this with people who are having children, Tara Schwartz, the neuroscientist, she was on a podcast with Mel Robbins, and she was basically saying that, and she would speak to women about, whether or not they wanted a relationship or whether or not, or whether it was that they wanted a baby. She did like this test of, what does your head think? What does your heart think? What does your gut and your intuition? And these women were saying, actually, I just want a child. I'm not necessarily needing a relationship to have that. They're going ahead and having a child on their own. So I think it is that, especially as you're getting older. And me and you are both nearing towards 40 now. You know, we're in our mid 30s. It's it's that, what am I willing to sacrifice for the waiting game?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a
Yeah.
huge question. And it does mean that you have to step into fear. And I was scared when everything was going wrong in this house. Oh my God, I was cracking myself. Because my mum can't help me out financially. She can't sort it.
Mm-hmm.
I was very much alone in this, but I had amazing friends that, were supportive and emotionally supportive. But yeah, I guess it is very, very scary. But what's the other option? That you just wait. And I waited for so long. I waited for years and years and years. And having had that deposit for quite some time, waited. And the house prices just got higher and higher and higher and higher and higher.
Yeah. And the beauty of it is as well, when you buy yourself, it doesn't mean that when you meet your person, oh, well, that's it, I've got my one house and that's that. It's amazing. You can keep the house, and that's something financially that, you're going to have as a support to support yourself moving forward.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that, oh, now I've got my own house, I can't find my person, and that's me completely independent. Like,
Exactly.
you've got your independence, you've got your house, and then that's really just something that's an amazing financial thing that you've got behind you forever. And then you get your house with your person when you meet that person.
Yeah. I mean, I was in quite a lucky position that Tom didn't have his own property.
Mm,
So he was able to just move in here, which was great. And then we'll obviously buy our own. But I have had friends, I've got a friend who, she had her own property, he had his own property, so she chose to move in with him. So you can work around it, you can figure it out. But like what you said, it's an investment, isn't it? So, mother, you were wrong on this one. This time, mother wasn't right.
it worked.
It worked out.
And there's options out there to help other women make it work out, and men work it out.
And
Some people
men,
want, yes,
yeah,
sorry,
because
men and women. I love them to speak from my
I would
points, but
love,
men and women.
I would love to know from the men actually
Mm.
whether this is something that you think about, whether it would
Mm.
stop you. Because when I was dating, when I was single, lots of men had their own properties
Mm.
who were around my age, or they were buying one.
Mm.
But I find that women are more reluctant. So I don't know whether it is, I don't know whether it's changing. I don't know whether that was the case years ago, but I would love to know your thoughts. Men and women, where are you with this? Let us know, because I think it's an interesting discussion. And if people are putting things off due to fear, how can we educate people? Because no one gets educated on how to buy a house, how mortgages work, all of this. I think it's a lack of education.
Should be in the schooling system. It actually should be like
So much should be in the schooling
there's a
system.
lot of things. It should be in the school system, to be fair. I think that's unfair because a lot of teachers actually have a lot to do in schools right now. Sorry, teachers out there. Yeah, there's more things you need to do. But yeah, it should be
But schools
something.
don't really teach you sometimes. I feel like
Life skill.
life skills.
Yeah.
I've never used algebra.
Either have I.
I was really good at algebra as well.
Yes.
I was. But,
That's amazing.
how to make a business or how to
Yeah.
buy a house,
Mm.
finding an accountant who's not going to screw you
Yeah.
up.
Also, mindset stuff. Huge.
Emotional
Huge.
intelligence,
Huge.
how to regulate your emotions, what
Yeah.
emotions are.
Right.
Another discussion.
Yeah.
But let's know your thoughts.
Yes, let us know. And if you're someone that's went out and done it on your own and had any issues, then tell us as well, because we'd love to hear your stories.
Or hasn't had issues.
Yeah, or it's just went swimmingly well. Let me know,
Success
because
stories are
that's what
also great.
absolutely, because then that will encourage me even more to go for it.
You
So yeah,
don't need no encouragement.
I don't. I'm
She's
going for it.
on her way. She's
I,
on her
I
way.
am on my way. I'm very excited.
But yes, thank you for listening. And as always, have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye.